03 F250 6-liter Power Stroke. Here's how to do a power steering pump. I've seen a few videos where everybody tears all this stuff all out, and you don't have to do that. So you're going to start off by draining your coolant. There's a petcock valve right here. Just screw it out and it'll start draining. Usually there's about 3 gallons or so that'll come out between the radiator, the reservoir, and the radiator hoses. Now, your power steering pump is right there. I'll show you a little better view of that here in a minute when I get this radiator hose up out of the way. You just have a worm clamp with a 5/16 or flathead screwdriver there, and another hose clamp up on the other end of it up there, which can be accessed from up here. It is that one there. I'm gonna focus. And it's not gonna focus, but it's that one there, just above the power steering pump. Alright, we got that lower radiator hose out of the way. Now you have a 10mm bolt there. Have 2 up on the top side of the pump. One there next to the pulley, one back there. And then you have your return line, or I guess your supply line, and then your pressure line out. I recommend taking your return up here off and draining it into an old oil jug or something if you have it. It'll help contain the mess a little bit. There's not really much you can do. There's going to be a mess. And then take this off down here. It's an 18mm. You can use an 18mm crowfoot, or I was in a pinch the last time I did this, and I had an extra 18mm wrench. I just cut it off kind of short, and that gave me the size I needed. So I'm going to get that thing drained and pulled out. Alright. Here's our new power steering pump. It'll sit up in the truck just like this. You got 4 bolts, bam, 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 and bam. You got your high pressure side, your supply side, and I thought that it was my seal leaking around my shaft here, but it turns out there's a plug on the top of this thing right here that was leaking down and hitting the back side of the pulley and then slinging around. It's gonna go up in here in the truck. You can kind of see you got 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts, and then you got your high pressure line and your return line, or your supply line rather. It's easier to get this return on, or supply, I don't know why I keep saying return. Easier to get this supply line hooked up, maneuver it up into there, start your bolts by hand, and then get this high pressure line on. And the one thing that you want to watch for is, I'm gonna focus, there's a little white nylon washer thing that goes on here. This is your seal. You want to make sure that you get the new one put on there, otherwise it will leak. Alright, we got the new power steering pump put in, and the lower radiator line put back on, or the hose. We have the the degas bottle topped off, and the reservoir topped off. And now the bleeding procedure for this is to have both front tires in the air. You're going to turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, hold it for a second, and then all the way to the right, hold it for a second, and then you're gonna do that, about 5 times, and then you're gonna push the brake pedal about 3 times, repeat that about 10 times over, and do all this with this reservoir cap off. And I've already got it done, but that's your bleeding procedure, and you're all buttoned up.